to make sure that you felt at home. You were invited to join in on the many water sports, from canoeing, sailing, this is where I have to read, there's quite a few, windsurfing, water skiing, boating, rowing. I remember rowing, like tied to the dock, you know, row, and then you got to go back again. Speaking of water skiing, if you came, it'd be like, well, what size water ski are you? One moment, please. And she'd come out with the size of your water ski because she had everything. She was ready for everything and everybody. So there was no excuse. I'll never forget getting on the end of the dock. Like, I don't know how many times you guys probably had to pull me up to get up on 2 skis. And then I remember the day I got up on 1 ski. It was amazing. The only thing is when I got back and we were drinking Grandfather Nelson's homemade root beer, which you had to, it was graded by how fuzzy the foam was on the top. Except for that I could hardly drink it. You know when you water ski a lot, like your arms are burned. Okay, so lots of good times. Where am I? The El Chero. So we had 2 boats. There was the Misgivings and then Grandfather's was the El Chero. Okay, cover that. Hang on. 1 more, please. Okay, so if water skiing and water sports weren't your thing, there was tennis, horseshoes, hiking. So needless to say, you were like pretty exhausted and hungry, and so that was a good place to be because Mom is the gourmet, Martha Stewart, you name it, lay it out, buffet style, smart, buffet style, no serving, everybody get your own food. So she'd get with the loud hailer out there, she'd go, okay, come for dinner, and it was like and the ding, the triangle bell. So you were summoned. Okay, and here's the deal. One of her specialties was the Caesar salad. So how that needed to be made was in front of you, concocted, while she's singing, because the singing makes it all taste better. Or later, maybe it was Cherry's Jubilee, and she'd bring out her flaming, her flambe cart, because it needed to be on fire. And it was good. So the evenings were so much fun. Special cocktails, one that I remember, I didn't have it, but I heard about it, was a Brandy Alexander. Big band music, which you'll hear and have been hearing, and you know, I grew up with this music and dancing. You just get up, right, Mike? We dance on the deck. It was so amazing. Okay, so every visit was well documented, labeled, and put in a photo album. So she has a very extensive library of photos. So what you're seeing at the back, those photos, and please look at them. I've spent the last 2 months paring them down. That's about 3% of the total volume in the library. So they're very special, and it helps you to remember how much great, everything that she did that was so wonderful. Okay, where are we now? So I have to reference, but I'm not going to read them. Pictures. Okay, here's the other thing, part of the demonstration. Over here, this is the Nelson family tree. It's 200 years old. Have a peek. I miss one thing. If you were feeling lucky at night, you should play poker because you could have won $5 up at the lake. It was a real thing, the gambling in the family. Where's the Nelson sign? I'm looking over at you guys. There's Harry. Oh my God, Harry Charles. All right. You snuck in, you wonderful thing. Okay, back, focus. Okay. Further to her legacy, she created the Regatta Day. Tony talked about it. It's a jam-packed, full-on, one-day families from the Thunderbird Beach Estates, started by Grandfather Nelson standing at the top of the hill with his Luger. And the night before, you would have dug up your worms, you had all your fishing gear, and you were just like waiting for the gun to go off. There you go, flying down to the lake, and you were for like 4 hours and nothing would happen. But there was the trophy people wanted. I was dying to win the trophy. It was my 13th year. That was the last time you could win it. And I'm like, dang, it was like 20 to 12, which was the cutoff date. So, okay, I'm gonna win for the most fish. I go down to the boat launch. I pull in 20 bullheads in 20 minutes. So I'm gonna win my $2 for the most fish. So I get up there, we're putting our fish out on the gushy table, grandfather's measuring. Nobody has a white fish, because you had to have a white fish to win the trophy. I had the biggest bullhead. So I won the trophy in my 14th year.
With a bullhead.
Dave's looking at me, he's shaking his head.
Nepotism.
Okay, what else was there? Was the Boo Boo Prize? That's another thing. That's what was the Boo Boo Prize, Dave? Or any Pinton?
Why do you have to ask me?
Okay, any Pinton stand up who remembers the Boo Boo Prize?
It was for a mistake. If you made a glaring, obvious, embarrassing mistake, Claire had the tendency to point it out. And the mask looked like you had made a mistake.
Oh,
Remember?
yeah, right. We should get a picture of that in the 650 pictures I got up there. I learned so many incredible, valuable things from my mom. She always said, if you want to be happy, to give of yourself. And she was a shining example of that. In fact, as you know earlier, I pointed out I was adopted. My birth mother wanted Mom to adopt her.
How does that work?
It's tricky. Another story to illustrate this, giving nature, when she was 72, caught that, 72? While Chris and I were trying to have kids, she'd offered herself up for in vitro for us. I know it's hard to believe, but only Mom would have thought to ask and offered. Fortunately, we were blessed with Misha and Tash. Where's Misha?
I don't know.
Oh, there she is. They're spread out. They're hardly apart, the twins. This is weird. Anyways, I am blessed and grateful we are together. Okay, so you want some little insights. Wisdom that she imparted. I've got a list. You know, I like to make lists. And so here's just three for now. She was adamant about listening to something funny and uplifting before going to bed. I remember many nights watching Johnny Carson. And today, more than ever, I think it's excellent advice to go to bed feeling really lifted. So that's one. Number two, another tidbit of sage fashion advice, because you know, right? You must never go out without lipstick. Demonstration. To this day, it always makes me feel better when I have my lipstick on. Just lifts me up. Jamie relates. Number three, in relationships, always have goals together. Period. Lastly, this is where the demonstration comes in. It took me a while to understand and accept that she was, I wrote not gone, that's interesting. But anyways, we'll carry on. But just in a happier, heavenly place with Dad and all the wonderful family and friends on the other side. For a solid month, I carried these 3 candles everywhere I went, like everywhere. If I went to another room, she came with me. I say she, it's her right. If we were having a meal, it came to the table. If I was going swimming, eventually I got out, I would take her in my bag. She came to Costco. She was with me. It was great comfort, I can't tell you. Here's the remote. See that? And I might have to get closer. But you can, there's a timer that you can make them look like a candle.
That is the Nutella room. That is Mom there.
And this is, oh yes. This is Mom here. Thank you. Oh, candle. Oh, see, it goes like candle, right? So cool. Okay, but here's the coolest part. Okay. So I want to say this is about 2 weeks after she passed. And she's by my bed, and I need to turn them out because I got to go to sleep. So I turn them out, and they come back on. And so I turn them out, and they come back on. And I turn them out. So I did this 12 times, and then I finally had to go over and physically turn them off so the remote doesn't even work. So I just want to say, that the candles turn on randomly, and I always know she's looking out over me, and the candles just decide to come on at certain times, and I know it's her, and I know she's looking after me, and I know she's looking over me, and I she loves me, and I just know that, and the candles help me to do that.
Well, that's great.
Okay, I talked way too long, but thank you for being here and for hearing about my mom. She was the most special person. I feel so lucky. I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky to have all of you, to have my brothers, my husband, my children, and my mom. So I love you, and I don't know who's next.
Well, we gonna, say something?
Yes.
Ow.